Oh man. Morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Check, check, check. A little quiet. No, audio's fine. Come. Make a coffee real quick, let everyone hop in. We'll be back. Give me a sec. Time on you. What do I do? My bit rate is low. You need to get those bit rates up. Change it later. Whatever. What are my settings on for streaming? Yeah. Why is it so low? Weird. Weird. Okay. Wow. Jesus. Shout out to Chirac. Yeah, you're getting that break over that level we mentioned. Kind of mentioned it last night on Twitter. So we wanted to see. Not surprising. It's a little bit about what Trump's doing with his tariffs. Again, less targeted, whether it be on chips, auto manufacturers, etc. So we'll see exactly what that leans into. But again, kind of where you're at right now, how you're moving, getting back up to the upside. Targets here, kind of coming into a target now. What previous lows you had back here. Try to be looking. You can actually see how that's developing here. See, actually have that level there. Kind of coming right into this right now. We'll see if that flips or not. Go to the daily to get more exact levels. Yeah. Be leaning more towards 20,460. It's gonna be a big level. Above that, you probably get a push back to the 200 SMA. Highly likely. Those would be the two big levels I'd be watching. You have a little wicks down here, so I'd watch as well. But yeah. SPY's above the 200. We need to see market open up. But yeah, you do look good here above the 200. Now, I want to see futures get above the 200 to really be bullish. But yeah, SPY, good start. SPY isn't probably still be playing pinball here with 100. So where's your 100 at? Let's bring them back up. Yeah, so you play pinball back and forth here. So we'll see where's Q's at. Below, so that's fine still. Dow, still it's good movement in the pre-market. Dow. Getting above your levels here as well. Clean this up. Yeah, really not bad at all. Sec. You're coming into these previous lows, which is going to be a bitch. 42.75, which you're already rejecting. But yeah, kind of the same thing across the board. Where's the NVIDIA 120? Not bad. Not bad at all. Start breaking this. Might get a push, get some momentum into 200. Apple. You wanted to see if Apple would get continuation. It is. Again, the news, it's regarding the tariffs around flexibility. Yeah. Where's it at? Excuse me. Yeah, it's just all about tariffs right now. Poot King? Ooh wee. Oh no. You should have watched the video, brother. You should have paid attention. You should have studied, bro. He's apparently Mike Myers. It's okay, buddy. Some people will forever be in the trenches. One sec. Let me grab up my coffee. All right. All right. All right. All right. Where's my remote? Okay. Let's us get to work. So we go bullish or we should see market tear. I don't know what that means. I mean, again, same things for me that I've been saying. I mean, good start with what's happening here on SPY getting above the 200. But again, all futures are still below your 200. So I have to assume you look for some sort of retest here. How far are you? I mean, you're pretty far away from money. Yeah. So again, getting a retest of 200 would be awesome. Still plenty of short-term upside. So kind of what I'd be looking at right now. I mean, you're kind of coming into these other levels. I mean, level here on NQ, et cetera. But is it as simple as saying, "Oh, we're bullish"? I wouldn't say that necessarily, but this is definitely a step in the right direction. But again, it's all based around things that Trump is saying. So you have to take that for what it is, and you have to be able to acknowledge that if the market is bullish off of a few things Trump has said, then well, what could happen if Trump changes his tone? You know what I mean? That's my concern or thought process. So that's what I would be considering and thinking about. But yeah, so far you're kind of coming into resistance here to those little previous lows back here. You can see like right here, your low from like March 4th, kind of before you broke down. So what are you watching here? Oh, Poot King's getting mad. He's getting mad. When you said we should unfollow anyone who's bullish, does that mean that we should unfollow you? No, I did not say that actually. Fake news, fake news. I said being bullish under the 200 SMA. But again, what do you look for? Beacon unfollow me for sure. You get the break, you get the retest. Oh, that's crazy. Again, you've been at the same level. Like people are freaking out. Like you've been at this level on SPY, or literally like a dollar or two below a few times. So again, worth mentioning and filling the gap right now. But again, do what you gotta do, Poot King. Here we go. Here we go. I know they're very mad. They're very mad. We gotta put him in timeout though. He's getting upset. We leave him here though. We listen. We don't judge. But yeah, so NQ getting above that. This is what you were looking for. So again, I think you have about give or take 200 points potentially of upside. But again, you still are hitting a few of these little previous lows. The question is going to be how do buyers step in from New York Open, right? We don't want to see a lack of continuation, right? That is like the real question. Is like, do you get a continuation of those buyers? So again, people are getting mad, bro. People are mad. Again, Like I said, guys, on the channel, I'm always going to tell you what my opinion is, what we're looking at, where things get bearish, where things get bullish. Again, you've watched the videos. Again, if you broke below the lows here, this is where I was looking to get really bearish, breaking below and making a new low. You could not do that. You came down, you bounced, and then you sat in your range and trying to break out here. But again, to where you get really bullish is the same thing here. It's back above 20,009.3. That's where my opinion kind of changes here. That's where I think things get really good. I'd also be watching semiconductors. They're back above 227. But now you're coming back into these like little previous lows here as well. I know Jay's levels at 227, which I totally agree with. But I also think the previous lows here are going to be kind of important. 234, 231. So I'd be watching this very closely as well. Can NVIDIA and AVGO get some follow through? Because again, AVGO is still not really breaking out here. But you know, the same thing I always say is when you get AVGO, NVIDIA, Apple all moving in the same direction, good things usually happen, whether it be to the upside or to the downside. You get pretty good volatility. So we're waiting for that to happen right now. Right now, you're kind of opening up right above resistance here on Apple. Above this, I mean, I'm looking most likely of a push up to 223, possibly into 200 SMA. So we'll see. Don't want to jump the gun, but again, if you hold above this, you look fine. That's what I'd be looking for. Thoughts on IWM? I'm really not super interested in IWM. You can do what you want to do here. I'd be very careful on mid caps. If I'm going from a sense of expecting downside to flipping to the upside, the last thing I want to do is start attacking riskier assets for myself. But if that's you, do what you gotta do. I mean, they can move quick, so that is worth mentioning. Like Palantir, like talked about it last week. I mean, above 85, you start pushing up. You're looking for that push towards $100. That could happen, you know, in a day. We've seen Palantir move quick. Robinhood holding 100 MA here, so bouncing back up as well. I mean, good hold. This could push back towards 50, like in a hurry too. So things to consider. It's just know that your risk is higher when you're going into those names. What do you think about Meta? Where's Meta? There it is. Yeah, Meta. So again, you have a big illiquid zone in between 610, 620. I'd be watching this like a hawk. Above 610, I'm looking for 620, basically your 100 MA here. So we'll see what happens. Below 610, 602, it's back and forth. So just the levels overall. But I mean, you almost came to your 200 SMA. If you want to consider this a touch, it's close. So finding buyers off of it. I mean, volume in the pre-market's never really high. Like, volume's never high in the pre-market. So I wouldn't it's, yeah. You kind of have to address every, you can't be biased in your sense of, like, how you're viewing the day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I expect the market to get hit more than the next guy, right? But I'm not going into the market with a sense of, like, okay, pre-market volume's not that high. I mean, pre-market volume hasn't been great. And that's what I'm just saying, too, like, going into this market open, you want to see buyers stay involved. Like if you can see buyers stay in the market here, get us continuing, then I think you most likely pushing to 20,400, 20,406, highly likely. But if they don't, I think it's going to get. I mean, we've seen what happens. You know, market open, buyers stagnate, sellers step back in. So we'll see. The only thing here though is you're above 20,120, which looks really clean. I wouldn't want to see us lose that level. If you lose that level, it'd be a pretty bad look. So yeah, again, my views, how I view the market is the same to the upside as to the downside. It's like, take what's in front of me, interpret what's happening in front of me. Don't react to, things I think that are going to happen or opinions that I have. Like, it is what it is. Right. So. Gotcha. Thoughts on Lockheed Martin? I don't care. Lockheed Martin, RTX, I don't care. Maybe I should sell my Tesla. You do what you gotta do, man. Tesla above 249. I posted on the weekend. You're actually opening at the gap fill. Posted this on Twitter, but yeah, you're mounting over 252, 251. You look good. Next level I have is like 267. Some people seem desperate for a recession just to get at Trump. I don't know about that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't care. I just care about making money in the stock market, Chief. Upside, downside. I mean, downside scalping has been like very easy. Like, it's been awesome, right? So, Let me see. I already answered Meta. Someone said Amazon. I saw Amazon. Wasn't skipping a question, but Amazon opening above the 200, above 201. I'd be looking for 204. Above 204, gap fill towards 208, 207. So again, above the 200 SMA, you can't go short. I mean, yeah. So, yep. But for a swing, I probably wouldn't be trading swings yet. Again, where I get to the point of like wanting to swing the market, hold positions overnight, size in maybe some leaps, things along those lines, is the Nasdaq getting back above the 200 SMA and holding, getting back to a strong, not so uncertain market. You know what I mean? That's my visual, my viewpoint. I don't want to take a bunch of unnecessary risk here. Now, day trading is totally different. Like day trading, it's like you go into the day fresh, bullish, bearish, doesn't matter. Yeah, Nev, do what you gotta do, man. I can't tell you what to sell, what to buy. Politics pass massive role in the market. I mean, I agree, but like, yeah. So again, the market doesn't care if people want Trump to fail or not, in my opinion. Like the market going down wasn't like, okay, this is also important. Like again, we have a bunch of like people get mad at bringing up Trump or anything, but like, yeah. So we have a bunch of crazies out there in the market, and I firmly believe if you're far left or if you're far right, I think you're both idiots. Like if you're extreme on one side or the other, like I want to be very clear. I think that you are the issue. I think that you are mentally challenged, and like you should be locked up somewhere, right? I think that even like the administration thinks that you guys are crazy, Democratic Party and Republican Party. So like to believe that you dropped here just because people don't like Trump is stupid. That's a very stupid piece of logic to have. Like, no, that's not what happened. What happened here is the market started pricing in the effects of tariffs, right? And what's happening here is now market's back. And again, and I've been saying the past few days, I think the market was kind of calling Trump's bluff. Like, is he gonna like hammer tariffs? And then we get news over the weekend that Trump isn't looking to be as aggressive. He's not going to go on semiconductors, which is that's the biggest thing about tariffs that people should be paying attention to in the short term. But again, that's like where we're at. And so like that's just dumb. That's just like a dumb mentality. I have no Tesla. I have no Tesla. But anyways, so yeah, Mike, I'm gonna put you in timeout for just saying stupid shit. Sorry, man. But yeah, if you come here and you just like you hate on like Trump, or you start saying the market hates Trump or this, I'm just like, dude, what are you talking? It has nothing to do with like what we're looking at. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just totally like just disassociated behavior. Like, you know what I mean? It's just totally like irrational, like stupid behavior. I don't understand how you wake up at 7:40 a.m. and you're like, yeah, I hate Donald Trump. I'm like, okay, all right. Do you care more for day trades or more long holdings? Just depends what you're getting in the market. So that's what I'm saying all the time. So like, it's about knowing when to look for opportunity out there, right? So let me give you a clear reason why if we went back to like August of this past year when we did it from the carry trade, why I was so big on going long on NVIDIA near $100. So let's be like crystal clear. So during the carry trade back here, August 2nd, like early August, right, when you dumped, you got right back above the 200 SMA. You really didn't hold below the 200, right? You came down, you bounced, right? So when you got back above it, I was like, dude, like this is a long, like totally, this is a long, right? So going back into NVIDIA there, like NVIDIA also didn't even get below the 200 SMA either. So NVIDIA back in August was down here, didn't even make it down there. I was like, this is a buy, back above $100. It's a leap buy. Do what you gotta do, right? You end up running at 150, right? Only problem now that's different is like you're below your 200 SMA. So again, and I've been very clear, I am not holding dated puts. I'm not, if you're in Discord, you've seen, Tyler's not holding crazy puts. I'm not trying to swing trade downside right now. Doesn't make any sense. If you break lows, I can see a bigger move coming, but like there's no reason to be overly aggressive to the downside either. Even with the death cross, things like who cares, right? So when we start remounting the 200 SMA, you start getting all that strength. And again, why am I looking at those levels? Again, like I've said it in the videos. I know some people just don't want to listen or just lazy, so whatever. But yeah, like the 200 SMA, you remounted it here February 2023, and look what happened. Like, look at the move that you got. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you lose it here, you gain it there, right? You lose it here, you regain it here, right? Like, right? You lose it here, Push above, regain, slow chop, regain. Pretty solid move. Regain, pretty solid. Like, you know, that's my mentality. So it's like, and again, people are going to get mad, like, oh, well, this is different than this. And I'm like, okay, well, if it's different, then I'll just be late to the party by like a week. I'm okay. Like, I'm not going to like lose out on sleep. The fact of the matter is too, like, I look at names like Nvidia, and I've been saying this entire time that like Nvidia stock is a buy. You know what I mean? I think it's a great company to buy. Just stock wise. Am I buying options? No. Unnecessary risk. You get back above the 200 SMA, you start remounting, things look better. NASDAQ gets continuation. Buy a leap on Nvidia, buy a leap on TSM, whatever you like. You know what I mean? But like, go into it with a plan, go into it with like an understanding of what you're trying to accomplish, where things get bullish, where things get bearish, etc. Like, have an understanding of what you're looking for. Don't just go into it blind with this idea of like, oh, just YOLOing, right? I mean, long-term buys, you buy whenever. Like, I think people think that like that's another really stupid thing. Like, I don't go into the market, I'm like, okay, my long-term buying, I think I'm gonna buy some now finally, buy some now finally, buy some now finally. No, you just buy. Like, again, you just go to M1 Finance is pretty cool. Jordan talks about it a lot. Just set up consistent buys, whether it be bi-weekly, monthly, whatever it is, and you just buy into your portfolio. And then if one area of your portfolio gets overweight, then just tinker how much you add into that section. Like, that's all you do. Like, there's no mentality of like, okay, I buy only when the market's dipping. Like, no, long-term stocks you just invest in. Like, you don't think about it, you don't look at it, you just invest. Like, and maybe when it dips, you look to see what's like underweight, what's losing its value, what you want to reevaluate, but that's what you do. That's long-term investing. Like, and I have to be like, on the channel, I know that people don't really like, again, you have to think about my point of view on the channel. It's like, I'm catering to like 5 different types of audiences, right? I'm catering to someone that's scalping, 30 trades a day, which on options makes no sense right now, but whatever. I'm catering to someone that's trading futures. I'm catering to someone that's day trading intraday. I'm making content for someone that's looking at a long-term view, someone that just wants a fundamental view, right? So it's important to understand that, right? So yeah, when this guy talks about death crosses, I've only talked about death crosses 2 times in the past 4 years. Brokey, Timmy Turner, Timmy Brokey, Timmy Brokey. Timmy, he said, I'm long on GameStop, SoFi, and I got a little bit of BBAI. I'm not gonna lie, I'm looking very rich, brokey. But yeah, so that's just how you have to like think about it. Like, yeah. So if you have direct questions, I think that's why the live is such a good opportunity for people to ask questions, whether like on specific time frames, what I'm looking at. But like, yeah, I just have to be careful because again, like if you've watched my videos over the past like literally like 2 weeks. I've said repeatedly, like long-term stock buying, like this is where you're in your happy place. You're like when you get a dip like this, because you're already buying stock nonstop, right? But now you're like, okay, well, I'm actually getting stuff at like a discounted price, right? I'm getting some of my averages down. I'm fine. Like this is good. If anything, yeah, maybe I could see you sizing up more, buying during the dip, like increasing the percentage of what you're buying. But yeah, that's like the main thing. So. Is that the Timmy? No. But yeah, so just how I'm like thinking about things. What do you think about Neo? I think car companies in general are trash. Like they're just trash. Like I don't know what the goal is with the car companies. I don't know what the obsession is with them. I want to just paint a really quick picture. This is GM. Okay, GM has been at the same level. Let's say you would have bought stock in 2017, you'd be up $6. You would have bought stock on IPO in 2011, you'd be up, what is that, $20? Cool, like 30%, no, 70%. That's pretty decent. That's okay. You go look at Ford. Ford's at the same level from 1997 or some shit. Like, if my mom would have bought me shares when I was born, 1997, I would still have the same amount of money. So that's cool. Okay. And then people say, well, what about Tesla? Tesla, don't you see long-term value? Tesla's not inherently a car company. Like, if you ask Elon Musk, is Tesla a car company? He would say no. Again, the idea of long-term investments on Tesla have nothing to do with it being necessarily a car company. So Again, not really what your long-term investment is. If you are investing in them, you're not investing in the idea of EVs. You're investing in the idea of robotics. So it's my opinion, and in AI and self-driving and their tech, right? They're a tech company. So when you invest in NEO, you're investing into a car company. You're not investing into a company like Tesla. I don't know how else to explain that. Tyler, I forgot the only rule. Again, I will say though, like, I would not get ahead of people's selves and start saying that we're super bullish just yet. You get back below 200 SMA, you look really good at, which I've been saying for weeks. The other part of this though, and this is another part of what I've been saying in all the videos, is like, guys, I'm not holding the time to go short, like to have an option overnight, is if you start breaking lows. Like you start breaking these lows down here, right? You're not breaking those lows yet, right? So I never went heavy short. The only thing that I ever got aggressive on, and did take a loss on it, I think on Thursday or Friday, I forgot what day it was Reddit. And I had the opportunity to cut. I think it was Friday morning. Yeah, I could have cut Friday morning. I could have cut down to 106. I was watching NASDAQ, so I just lost. I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, it was Reddit trying to get the break finally of 104. You just never have the break. Like I sold my first time down here at 105. You broke down again, and you pop back up. So I closed at 111. But that's the only thing that I got aggressive on. Everything else was like pretty short term. Like, yeah. But again, like I would just be patient. I wouldn't be like jumping the gun on the upside yet. I think now, don't get me wrong. The intraday trading looks really good into 20,004.6. If you start breaking over, I agree. I'm looking at it for futures. Stocks even look pretty decent. Like I think Amazon above 201 looks pretty good. Meta above 610, 620 looks good. Apple, I'm a little worried about Apple to be honest, but I mean, hold 219 look decent. Nvidia breaking structure here looks pretty decent. So yeah. Nike, I'm not sure Nike. I liked Nike before, but those earnings were trash. Not sure if we talked about it, but SPY and QQQ, when we get a move like this pre-market, what are your thoughts? Entering any trades? I watch futures. I don't really watch SPY all that much, to be honest. I watch futures. Markets were down pre-market all the way back down to 19.6 on Friday, came right back up. I mean, they've been the same. The markets have been doing the same thing for like 2 weeks, like, right? So it wasn't really like a big surprise, like anything that's happened here. Right? You bounce up, you come down. You bounce up, you come down. You're sitting in right. You're just flagging. Nothing was happening. You're consolidating. Yeah, you gotta zoom out some days, guys. We can't just like identify one day as like, okay, that's it. That's the action for the day. It's the action for the week. Bada bing, bada boom. Like, nope, just zoom out. Look at what's happened previously. That's what I said. Like, even last night on Twitter, I was like, look, what did I say on Twitter? I'm scared what's going to show up on Twitter, to be honest. Yeah. Right here, break over 2120, room has into 20,300. Just a question, can you get follow through? Literally what we posted last night. So, but end of the day, like, yeah, I mean, I'm going to still, again, we'll see end of, what it was today. March, we'll see April. We'll see how much money we make on prop firms again. Like, again, you make money to the upside. Really, what you just want is volatility. Now, I will say, getting volatility in a range is not great for stocks. Like, not awesome. I'll be the first one to say it. Like, you're gonna get shitty price action for trading options. But for trading futures, if you're moving in a 200-point range back and forth all day long, I mean, it's pretty. Kind of can't ask for more. You know what I mean? You have a top watch for stocks today. I think Amazon's probably my top watch, surprisingly. If it can get above 201, I think it's going to push right into 204. I don't really care about Microsoft, but it's probably going to come into 400, maybe 404. I'd be watching Nvidia if it gets strength. It's holding up decent right now. If it gets strength, though, this could start pushing back into highs to 122. Maybe make a run for the 200 SMA. I'd be also watching like 124. So we'll see there. Surprised AVGO isn't moving up better. You need to get above 196. Above 197, I would be looking for like the 100 MA up there near 201. So yeah. But nothing is like looking crazy to me. Netflix is pretty interesting. It's been pretty strong. Probably one of the strongest names out there is Netflix. Moving back into 1,000. I'd be watching Netflix towards 1,000, 995. So yeah. That is what I'd be watching. 1 second. Trying to see IBM. I don't ever trade IBM, to be honest. Holding support. I've had this level marked out for I don't even know when. Actually, it's right there, 238. So bouncing off it looks fine. I mean, as long as you hold above 245, I think you look good. I think you look really good. Let's go over. I need to mark out my futures levels real quick. Yeah, basically all I'm watching here. You might have a level here in 20,003. I don't think so, though. Where is our VWAP? See, the problem too with VWAP is it's so low right now. Is you can't even if you started breaking down here at open like 20,230 something like that, and you wanted to aim back down for a retest of like 20,001 it'd be a really tough trade and annoying. Cause you have VWAP so low. I mean, maybe like a VWAP test, but I prefer shorting with VWAP on my side. Personally. Thoughts on IWM? I already answered that. If you have questions, make sure you ask while we're here, guys. I don't know how much longer I'll be live, but yeah. I have to type out the features rundown for Discord. Shit. Isn't it pasting? The hell? Cool. I don't know why I was doing that. That was weird. Spot of the 200 daily MA. It's above. Should be above it right now. If you open up below it and reject, that's not a good look. But we have 30 minutes, so we'll see. Guys, you do what you gotta do with your money. What do you want to trade? I post whatever I'm gonna trade, whatever I'm gonna buy. I post it all in Discord, so you guys can see it there. When I come into the pre-market, this is just all of my opinion, what I'm looking at going into the day, different setups, different ideas. Things change when market opens. Anything, I mean, yeah, everything changes when market opens. Like, you could see selling get more aggressive. You could see another stock flip, get stronger. Like, it's, don't really go into it with a predetermined mentality ever. Be looking for 57.95. I'll see it right there. This area is pretty ass, though. This whole area right here, I'm not a fan of here on ES at all. I am not a fan of this shit. The fact that you broke down in this level, then retested back up to like 58.30, fucking gross. Nasty. I'm not a fan of this at all. Dude. Yeah, ES, I don't like this chart at all. People that have been trading ES, I mean, go for it. Like, I'm not trying to like discourage anybody, but I'm not a fan of trading ES here. As of recently, especially, I just don't see it. I don't see the appeal. my puts over the weekend. Again, I don't know why people would have been holding puts over the weekend. To be honest, like best of luck. But yeah, I've been very. I don't know. I don't know why, dude. Oh my god, dude. Oh, command. There it is. 1 second. Okay. Yeah. 1 second. Yeah. So this is. I mean, again, if you're in Discord, you hear me say it all the time. Like, the idea of always having to be in a trade. Like, okay, so this is another really good visual for people to think about. So if you're day trading, if you're like a short term trader, your mentality shouldn't be to always be in a trade. It should be into a trade for typically a short period, right? And you're really just selecting areas that you like or taking advantage of in the market, right? So if you're a long term investor, then you always kind of want to be in a position, right? And ideally, you only want to be in cash if like you expect something terrible to happen, or if like you are de-risking, or yes, like something strange, right? You usually want to have like a large account if you're at that point, but very rarely are you ever like in just a cash position. So there's a difference between a long-term and a short-term investor, right? And so again, I think one of the main problems with people that are trading is you just have no idea. You have this massive identity crisis with who you are and don't know what your goals, your strategy, or anything is. And so you have this overwhelming sense of like, okay, I need to constantly be in a trade, constantly try to make money. When the fact is when you're a short-term trader and you're trying to trade like a long-term trader in the sense of I want to always be in something, right? I want to always have exposure to something, then you're actually making what should be your strength into one of your weaknesses, right? So as a short-term trader, I should be looking at the market from a grid point of like there's 100 different opportunities out there, and then I'm honing in on where I see the best opportunity every single day, right? So if the market's weak, then I'm going to look at weaker stocks and what's following the trend to the downside, and I'm going to take advantage solely of that. Like that's my focus as a short-term trader, right? Or if it's strong, then I want to focus on the strongest sector, which might be semiconductors on the day. I want to focus on the strongest stock because I think that's going to have the best chance of getting continuation. And I like the setup, technically speaking, as well. That's my goal as a short-term trader. Or if I go to the market and it's choppy, then I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to really trade this, right? Or if I have a plan in the market of looking at, okay, I'm expecting downside, but then you get news and like, okay, well, I don't want to trade this. This is going against my plan. But do you see how like the rationale is changing, right? So you have a strategy, you have areas that you want to pinpoint. But when you're going into the market, okay, I want to hold something over the weekend, right? I want to hold something this and that, even though we're in a very large period of uncertainty with where we're at. That's the difference. So, and again, you will get like I want to like express this, and I've been there. I still get there sometimes, right? To where I get lucky or I get over aggressive, this or that, right? But again, like you have to understand the difference between getting lucky and following a strategy that's repeatable. And so I'm just saying, like again, people are gonna get mad, whatever. It is what it is. So, but again, if you're a short term, and only you know the answer, and I don't even think people really think about that ever. Like no one ever actually like takes a second to take a step back and say, okay, well, am I a long term, like am I a short term like scalper? Like, and I think most people would assume like if you like sat down and looked at all your trades, you'd be identified as like a scalper or an intraday trader, like a short term intraday trader, right? That would be if you just look at the time period of your trades, that's what you'd be considered. So yeah, Because if you're holding overnight, then you should be at least be going like 30 to 45 days out. Like never going under that. But whatever. So food for thought. Do what you gotta do. This Dow chart's actually pretty clean. So, food for thought, things to think about, The hard hitting questions this morning. It's not really a reminder. That's just like a fact. Like, I think it's just a fact. That's why I tell people too. Like, if you really want to like scalp all day long, like, just go trade futures. Like, if that's what you want to do, go get a prop firm account, go trade futures. You'll limit your risk. You won't lose a bunch of money. Like, go do that. Stop trying to force trade options. That's another reason people are like, oh, I'm down. It's like, I don't even understand how you could be down so much over this weekend. Like, unless you went like short on like Tesla, which then I could understand maybe. But like, with the exception of Tesla, I just don't see it. Like, I just don't. Like, you couldn't convince me, because like if you're trading, if you're swing trading over the weekend, right? Maybe SPY, I could see SPY hurting you, maybe. Yeah, SPY and Qs. But like, if you're going into the weekend with a short, which again, I don't know why you would go short here on SPY rather than, it doesn't make any sense, but whatever. Even in NVIDIA, let's say I'm going short on NVIDIA over the weekend, right? And I went for April like 17th, next month expiration. I'm probably gonna be down. I'd be down like 20% maybe. No, maybe 30%, which would still suck. Like, that would still suck as a position. But like, I in no way would be like dead to my right. Maybe even 40%, right? But like, if you're trading weeklies, then you're down like 100% obviously here. So you know what I mean? Like, it's hard, but it is what it is. So yeah. But then again too, I saw no short opportunities going into the weekend. Zero. Like, if you would have held below some, like if you wouldn't have popped up like back in, I was like, okay, maybe I see the short. But if you would have held down below 19.7, you just didn't. You just held all your levels. Like, so it is what it is. But yeah. So, but yeah, if you're trading weeklies, like in short term trade, it's just dumb. Like, it makes no sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Like, Nvidia making higher lows here, like, it just didn't make sense. Like, and like, I mean, I was very clear. Like, that's another big thing to think about. Like, and again, maybe there's misunderstanding. I don't know. That's up to you guys. But like, Discord, it was very clear. Like, people wanted to go short. I was like, why? Why are we going short? Why are we forced trading a range? You know what I mean? Like, what are we winning? Like, what are we winning forced trading this range? You know what I mean? You break below, like, you look amazing. Like, you don't have much to the downside. Like, things get pretty illiquid back down to your 18K. Like, it's pretty ugly, right? So it's just, people don't want to be patient, right? Because again, like, if you're a short-term trader, that's what you're doing. You're waiting for breakouts. You're waiting for confirmation. You're waiting for good setups, right? You're not trading every single day. That's the reality. You're not. You're taking really good setups. And if you're like a micro scalper, then you're taking quick setups and you're only trying to make 5 to 10% on a trade. That's the other reality of that, which again, I know no one wants to do. So, but that it is what it is. Like, you're not trying to scalp an option for 60% gains. Like that's like, what are we talking about? It's gambling. That's what that is. So like, that's typically what most of the problem is, right? Anytime I see someone join Discord and ask questions, I'm like, well, let's figure out what you want to do first, and then we talk about it. And like, okay, well, is that even obtainable? Like, is that like a, yeah? What do I think about Lyft for small accounts? Again, like, okay, so this is like another mentality. Like, it's another like, it's 8:08. I have a few more minutes left. I don't care if you're a small account or a large account. I treat it all the same. I when I've done small accounts here, and honestly, trading small accounts typically is hell. I hate it so much. I've done it twice. I've done it once on Options AI, which that was a fucking nightmare. And I did it one time way before then. Now, I treat it the exact same way as I treat it as a large account. I probably have more risk on my trades. It's the only thing. I take bigger, percent risk. But I'm not trading like small names. Like I don't say, okay, well, I have a small account, so I'm gonna trade a $10 stock today. I can't trade $100 stock because it's a small account. Like, if that's your, not being mean, but you got to readjust the way you're thinking about it, right? So if you're going into your small account, let's say $500. I don't know how much your small account is considered, but let's say it's $500 or $1,000, right? Then I need to have realistic goals of that. Like, am I trying to make 10% a day? Like, what, or am I trying to make 2% a day? Like, what's the goal there, right? And then what's the quickest way to get my account to like a $5,000 size? Is it going to be trading, or is it going to be going and working at my job and then not spending money in my life and then dumping money into my account? 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be going to work for a week, spending less money, and putting it into my account. Just telling you. So, like, the likelihood of you turning $500 into, $10,000 is like slim to none. I'm just going to tell you. Like, there's a reason that someone writes a book about it or an article, because the one person out of 20,000 that do it, they're like, okay, I finally did it. Let me write a book about it because this is crazy, right? It's like no one writes a news report over something that doesn't happen. That happens all the time, right? Like, no one writes a report about, oh yeah, Gerald out there in Louisiana lost all of his money again day trading stocks. Yeah, that's normal. Like, people lose all their money all the time because they're just degenerate gamblers. No one writes a report. Yep, yeah, Timmy went to Vegas again, lost it all betting on March Madness. Like, no, it happens all the time. Like, they only write stories about the people that do something that's absolutely crazy. Oh, Timmy took $500 to Vegas and made $20,000. That's pretty crazy, right? What a run, right? And understand, like, what's the story versus what's not the story. The normal idea is not the story of what always happens. Tesla will actually retest. I think all the bad news around Tesla is actually pretty good news for it, but we'll see. Again, Tesla's still below 200 SMA. We'll see. See what happens. You're getting the gap fill here too at market open. It's nice to see. You're finding buyers too in the market open, which I like. 20,280. I mean, I think you got room here. You have some decent room. Should be a quick market. If buyers step in early in the market, it should be a quick day, in and out. Man. All right, guys. I'm going to hop out. I appreciate you. Discord link, all that stuff is down below. My Fun and Features. Have a good one. I'll probably post later on Twitter as well, so you guys can get some updates throughout the day. So have a good one.